Hey guys, it's me T. Woo woo! Coming at you with a brand new afternoon reading. For January 4th. It's 10 days until my birthday. I'm so excited. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm just going again just to see if any of you guys comment to try to kind of get back at you while I'm doing this, but can't promise anything. But I want it available just so that in case, because you never know what spirit wants you to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, this morning, I don't know if it's a collective thing, but I'm just gonna let you know that I did not wake up on the greatest side of the bed. Okay. And yeah, so they're like having me start already. All right. So, long story short, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I didn't get on. I didn't get up because I woke up early this morning because I think it's like the new moon energies, right? So there was just like a lot going on in terms of energetically, so I didn't really get much sleep. And when I don't get much sleep, I get really fucking cranky because I love my sleep. But also, you know what they're telling? Okay, even though it's interesting. I'm gonna come on screen, even though I don't feel like coming on screen. Because look at me! But wait, let me see. I don't know how they want me to do that, but I feel like because I need to talk face to face with people today. I think that's what it is. I don't know how we're gonna fucking do this. Don't have any idea. Okay. Oh, thanks for calling, Chantel. But I'm doing a live reading. So I don't know if I can actually do this. Fuck. I don't know how they want me to do it, but I wanted to talk to you face to face. Maybe like this, which is a really horrible angle. How do you want me to do it? They're telling me to stack. Stack, stack, stack. Alright, I don't know. Should I stack right now? Hold on. Let me see. Guys, give me a second because I feel like I need to talk to you face to face right now, and I wasn't feeling that way before. Woo! Let me see if I can stack. Oh, you know what? I can stack! Yes! And I was wondering this morning what the fuck this was here for. Hold on. It's funny, I left a shoebox out, and that's normally not me. Like, I like shit in its place. Hold on. Give me a second. And I was just thinking to myself, why is that there? Like, why have I left it out for so long? Okay, I think we could do this. All right. That was an impromptu type of thing. Hold on, let me see what's up. And I have to sit back a little bit when I do this. Okay. Ah! Crazy, crazy. Oh my god, it's so fucking hot. Yo, I'm like always hot. Maybe it's because I light a candle when I turn on, well, this is interesting. I'm kind of like farther out than, whatever. My head's gonna be a little cut off, but I feel like I can talk to you, so that's cool. Ooh, and I feel much better actually that I did that, so thank you for your patience on that. So long story short, I feel as though, yeah, I feel as though you might not wake up properly today in terms of, perfection, in terms of positivity, but then I went for a walk and that always gives me a boost of positivity and inspiration. And I normally don't do my videos without going for a walk because I feel as though I want to get the downloads that are needed for the reading. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that today is basically just you just have to believe today. It's kind of like you have to be, oh, this is interesting because this is what I got on my walk. You have to be a believer in terms of the type of freedom that you want, right? So if your thoughts are not matching up with what you want to live like, you need to change those thoughts and you need to start believing in them. So, because there's freedom in that. That's where you're going to find your freedom. It's kind of like the whole purpose in this life, I feel, is to literally clear out, declutter your mind from living the way that other people have kind of taught you how to live. And not that that's wrong. It's just that sometimes, you know, you have your foundation, you have your, what is it called? Also, like your framework, right? In terms of how people are living, and then you take that and then you kind of just expand on it, right? So I just think that that's more so, let's see, I think that that's more so like what our purpose. Oh, I like this. Oh, they got me feeling so professional. Like this. Hold on. Ooh, they got me. Okay. By the way, I'm loving this realness right here. It's like, yo, this is T at her most realist right now, which it's amazing. And so, like, okay, so that's basically what it comes down to, is just literally, believing in what you want to believe so that you can literally just have an easier life. Like, in terms of, like, you know, I think our purpose here is to understand the rules, to feel into them, to live it up for a little bit, and then to just kind of start bending the rules where it's like, oh my god, that's so fucking okay, it's so crazy. I just got a text. I fucking knew that was gonna happen too. Oh my god, it's so nuts. Okay, so anyhow, long story short, look at the cleave going on, guys. Woo! What was I gonna say? So, long story short, yeah, I mean, it's just, that's basically what we're here to do. So we're here to just, and as a Feng Shui consultant, we just have to fucking, like, literally just declutter our lives from things that no longer work for us. And by that, I mean that don't bring us joy into our lives. Like, you just know it when you feel it, right? And the thing is, and it's very interesting because one of the biggest lessons that I've learned here on earth, and then I'm literally, like, today I've been wanting to cry it out because it's just so, I'm so grateful that I've been through so much fucking bullshit, but also in terms of what I no longer will be tolerating on such an extreme level. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that it's just like, it's like so cut and dry that, like, I will no longer be tolerating a lot of the shit that, like, might come into play. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, what did I want to say with, is that a lot of it comes with family, right? And it's just a beautiful thing because we're all taught about this, like, how a perfect kind of family should be and how a perfect, like, you know, family environment should be and this and that. But the truth of the matter is we're all lying to ourselves, like, because no one has the perfect family. No one, even though, and the scariest shit is when you have a family that tries to fucking act at its most finest and most unrealist, right? That shit is scary to me. Like, when you don't like to curse, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, okay, I understand the curse in terms of cursing, in terms of being, like, respectful versus disrespectful, but, you know, cursing is a fucking form of expression too. So it's kind of like when you are suppressing that within a family, you're also suppressing a lot of shit that comes up in terms of a realist, like the realist stuff that needs to kind of be purged out, right? And not purged out, but more so come to the top and then purged out in terms of, is it necessary to keep it? Because is it a part of your authenticity, and is it not? Like, that's basically what it is. Does it make, you know, does it make you happy? Does it not? And it's really crazy because I've come so far, and today what made me cry is, like, it's so crazy because, you know, the universe shows you shit in terms of, okay, so you're feeling like this bubbling to the top, but today I looked outside my window and the person in the back of our house is fucking, like, destruction is happening there. Like, I didn't even know that the house is being torn the fuck down. So I was just like, I, like, looked outside my window and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking crazy because that's super powerful. That's also happening in the back, where I also feel that today is a big day where you are detaching and you are free. You are finally have become free from all of that, from the traditional structures that no longer make you happy, And so to see that outside of myself, and it's like right in my backyard and so visible, where I saw, the claw, like of the claw of the destruction, like just grab everything and fucking tear it down. And I was just like, and I felt as if I was seeing my mirror, because I was like, that's what I do. I go in and I do it on a real quick notion where it's like, destruct that motherfucking shit, like what no longer works, and fucking rebuild back what will work, And a lot of people get scared of that because they're like, oh my God, it took so much to build this. But you know what? You have to be real with yourself. It took a lot of time to build on it, but on what? Are you on solid fucking truthful foundation, or are you built on muddy motherfucking bullshit? Like, that's basically what it comes down to. So it's kind of like, you really have to be real with yourself. And a lot of the time, the midway is the best way, where you can blend what you've learned from kind of like your structure or your family, because your family really, it comes down to whether it doesn't matter what your family looks like. You've learned first from your family, first and foremost. So that is kind of like the structure that you've been built on, along with the framework. And, there's some things that really do not resonate with you as you're growing up, that you have to kind of be real with yourself to fucking tear it the fuck down. So to me, I've been through all this bullshit and like just hardcore like churning work, like just inner work, like where it's like, we have to just alchemize it, transmute it, like purge the fucking shit out of it, And the whole thing is, there was a lot of work that entailed it, and I woke up this morning and I was exhausted. Like, I was like, yo, I'm fucking exhausted. Like, do you see this? Like, this is like not the best self-love ever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all about self-love, but self-love like did not come at me today. Like, I was not in a self-love type of mood, but I was like, you know what? It's all good. Like, we're just kind of chipping away at it, right? It doesn't have to be like, okay, get yourself structured, blah, 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 blah. It's like, nah, sometimes you gotta go really slow at it, right? Because it's just like the energies. And morning time, actually, we've been taught that morning time needs to be sped up and go quick and da-da-da. But actually, you're supposed to graduate into your day. So around 3 o'clock is usually when you're supposed to, like, be more, switching into your more yang side, like into your more, like for other people. Because, again, first, if we're talking about self-love first, self-love comes first in the first part of your day. So you get to do whatever the fuck you want, but also structurally based, where you kind of work off of a checklist to get shit done for yourself so that you can feel good, right? And then you bring that energy to other people when you're working with other people. So I would suggest that you shouldn't take any clients until either 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's just me just kind of figuring out how I think that my life would work the best, right? And just so that you could bring your best to your clients, right? So, and also, that the first part of your day would also involve you working on your, kind of what I like to call neon projects. Like, you're kind of working like quietly but loudly, right, on like projects, and that kind of gets you really motivated and fun and, in the mode, and then you kind of show up for other people, right? So this is partially why sometimes I come on around this time 2 or 3 o'clock, because of the fact that it's just like my natural flow. Like, it's just like, this is transition. This is the transition point, So, all right, let me get into the read, because I've been like talking like a mofo, but I'm actually going to be doing more of these types of videos where I can just like blab, because I feel as though, as a really happy Feng Shui, consultant or Feng Shui practitioner, I should say, because I like to call it a practitioner. It's like, I figured out a way that's really happy for me. And it's very simple, and I just feel as though that I can help people kind of find their happy if they're willing to listen or if they're willing to apply it. But either way, I want it to be more of like a what's it called? Like I mean, yeah, I guess, what's the word? Like legacy. Sorry, legacy. Because I was like, it's not legendary. It's the legacy that I basically want to leave for myself, for, you know, my future, you know, my nieces and nephews, for my future kids, and, you know, and all basically the kids that are watching, you know, YouTube, to be like, yo, listen up, like, your parents are not wrong, and the way that you grew up is not wrong. Everything is kind of like, in a sense, destined, but it needs your support of your own decisions to go down in terms of creating better, right? Because if you just went with the flow of life, that's fine. But if you ever went with the flow of life, like so much so, where you're not creating decisions for yourself, you're not going to be as happy, and you're not going to be as motivated, and you're just going to like kind of just be accepting of everything, and that's fine, but you need to change it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You need to be open to working with all different types of energies as you're in the flow, and the flow in essence is really love. It's not like, so, you know, you could be passionately, you know, in loving energy, or you can be quietly in loving energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's really so as long as you stay in the flow of love, you're good, and then whatever, and you know, and permanently so, right? But that can show up in different ways. So you just have to, what's the point of that? Is just that I want to leave that as my legacy, to be like, yo, like, again, how you grew up wasn't wrong. It's literally meant for you, and you just need to kind of, like develop more of what is you. You know what I'm saying? What works for you. And that's okay. You know, that's actually what's needed, because we need you to be on your most happiest and highest, you know, joyful level, to spread that light towards, you know, like for yourself, to have that light for yourself, and to spread it, you know, towards others and for the world. So, all right. So I guess that all needed to come out randomly in that way, but that was super fun. I feel like that needed to just like bust out of me, and I don't know what the fuck, I don't know why, but it's all good. What was I gonna say? And yeah, so I need to do more of those, you know, and again, maybe it's something that, because there is this freedom type of energy going on, where you're like, okay, you're like detached, you know what I'm saying? There's no more like codependency type thing, right? So, it's all very interesting in terms of how everything kind of just evolves, right? And plays out. So, all right, we're asking Grandmaster G, my higher self, my A-team, and my team spirit only to please show us all those that resonate with me, and, you know, my lifestyle of positivity. I ask that you please place the highest and best 3 cards at the top of this deck that have to do with future creativity in children, but also the authentic, native, and originality, and the individuality energies of today, and the universe's energies as well. Thank you. Do I stop shuffling right here, right now? Yes, okay. I felt it. Okay. So, here we go. I already shuffled the feminine cards, and I flipped them over because they really wanted to be flipped. Holy shit, guys. This is this is crazy. Okay. Do I show them this front side at all? Okay. I mean the bottom side, I should say. All right. So, I'll show it to you later, though. Or whenever they want. It's like, I think I know how it's going to go. Sometimes I have no idea how it's going to go. Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. All right, so, all right, so things are literally, on a foundational level, moving forward quickly. So it's no mistake that I saw that destruction of a house today, where an important achievement, self-discipline, and willpower, public recognition. Excuse me. You're moving forward towards your future, very much so. Also, what I'm getting is in a unicorn style type of way, where it's like you're doing, like, it's a very balanced, right? It's a very balanced way, but also what we're not seeing is that the leader here is the unicorn, okay? So it's like the unicorn and then first, and then the black and white horse is next. So it's kind of like the unicorn is leading the way, so that could also be spirit. This is also, this is crazy, and it's like major quick change. The Chariot, Archangel Metatron, I didn't even go over what card this was, sorry. And I just feel as though it's like you've really, talk about unity, you've brought together the unity within yourself, but it's also the unicorn that's invisible here, that's leading the way, is also very much so the ultra healing that you needed. What I'm getting also here is you're taking charge. You're taking charge of your life. This is why exactly... Oh, that's interesting. I just said unity, and the next card is unity. So funny. So, so you're taking charge of your life. You're seeing things as what they are, black and white. And also, this is I'm getting this as like you are not tolerating shit anymore because you've learned from the darkness of your past, and you're learning how to kind of lighten it up, right? Lighten your load. So I think that's basically what it is. Also, I want to say too, in terms of this kind of being strapped and like these horses not free, I feel as though today you cut the cords of what isn't like what isn't making you trust, okay? So you're cutting these cords, like, you know, these horses are strapped to this guy so that he can have the control. So whoever was having a hold on you or control over you, the cords are being cut, like these leashes type of things, like I don't know what they're called really, but they're being completely cut, where you get to roam free and you trust your intuition in terms of, okay, if this was like you and your own horse, let's say, right? You and your own horses, it's like you're doing them a favor and they're doing you a favor by literally, if you just cut these cords. There's actually a cartoon that I ran into. It's called Spirit, and it's about a horse that basically, it's like a rebel horse and it wants to roam free, and it's like fucking, it's like crazy, you know, but in a crazy in a good way, right? But no one understands him, so everybody tries to tame him. And the whole thing is, it's like he doesn't want to be on these like, you know, leash whip type of things, right? So he like meets a girl and she understands him intuitively, right? So intuitively, this girl actually has herself in control, but also like in terms of trusting herself, but also trusting this horse and Spirit, right? That's why his name is Spirit, is basically because there's a lot of spirituality in cartoons, guys. You have to like, I started like watching them randomly, like whenever they're supposed to like pop up in my world. Like, and I'm like, wow, there's so much spirituality here that it's like so insane. Like, we don't realize it, but it's beautiful, right? So going back to like, you know, your childlike essence is actually very much so spiritual. And that's the type of spirituality I like to go into, is like the laughing, the lightheartedness. Like, let's not get too crazy in terms of like needing to understand and explore everything. Like, I've already done that as a Capricorn. I feel like for the past 30, it's about to be 32 years in 10 days. So 32 years of my life, and I'm like, okay, that was a lot of seriousness that I can no longer handle. So I'm definitely referring back to my childlike essence, and I don't give a fuck. Like, that's one of those, that's one of those like intuitive things that, like, you know, I've also followed, right? So the whole thing is, when it comes down to this, I feel as though you're very much so trusting of yourself. You've gotten this far by being like purely honest with yourself, right? And honest with others. Like, that's basically what it is. It's like you're very direct. You're very like, you know what you want, and you are very trustworthy of, you know, your wild horses, knowing that they're going to come back to you in terms of, you know, intuitively at their own individuality. Do you get what I'm saying? So each horse has his own intuition. And whenever they're meant to come back to you, you know, to kind of mingle with you, they're meant to come back. But also, they want to come back because they love your love, right? So it's never like, it's a love that's never going to be lost, right? What am I getting here also? I'm getting like, so yeah, so you majorly trusting Spirit. You majorly trusting your own yin and yang horses within you. Also your unicorn to lead the way, but also not needing to be so in control anymore. It's kind of like you're just allowing spirit to be in control of it. And the 7 is a fucking like real quick change. You know what I'm saying? Do you want me to do it as usual? Okay, interesting. All right, so that's what they want me to. So I'm going over the yang cards as our kind of like, it's very interesting because I posted it one way, but it's actually like being read another way. So we'll have to figure that out if that needs to be changed. But so I'm doing the yang cards first as a foundation, as the masculine foundation. So midday today, the number 5 is change. This is the unity card, and Archangel Sandalphon is working with us. And this card says traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors or like-minded friends. Now that's very interesting because at the beginning of this video, I went into all this traditional type of viewpoints, right? So, and this is kind of like our semi-midday. So it's just very interesting how that all landed together and how, you know, there is this, I really do feel this change where it's like bubbling to the top where I'm so proud of myself. Like there's this change, and it's not a bad change. It's just a change that you're feeling that literally is super positive, but it's like, it's such a change to be grateful for. Put it that way. It's like this fresh new energy that you're just like, you're now feeling it. You're like, okay, no matter how I was feeling earlier, like still trying to like, you know, kind of like pick up things up, you know what I'm saying, to go a little quicker. It's like it doesn't matter because you had to, like, everything had to work out in its own divine timing where, you know, I feel like this morning you tried to go quick, but you really actually needed to slow down. And like you were kind of like, okay, like at one point you got accepting of it, which united the entire aspect of, okay, here's the acceptance of it all, and I am appreciative of the unity within myself, right? So at the beginning of your day, it was kind of like yin and yang, right? But then it was a blend of unity, and so now it's all kind of slowly working itself out together. And what I want to say, it's like a magnetized type of attraction. So it's kind of like, you know, this could also mean a Cancer is coming into your life very quickly. A Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. No, I think this is just a Cancer card. Excuse me. So yeah, this is the sign of Cancer. So if there's a Cancer, you know, that's coming into your world, that's, you know, that's the essence maybe of what they're going to bring to your world. You know, this understanding of it or this clean cutness of it. I love clean. All right, so I really do. I love a clean thing. Which reminds me, since I love clean so much, I'm literally going to be coming at you with toiletry reviews because I have so many that I need to get rid of, and I haven't gotten rid of them because I was like, I want to make YouTube videos on them because I have so much fun doing them, and I also feel as though, since I'm so fucking opinionated, I want to basically, you know, let you know, how I feel about different products and how they can be improved, right? So this way we can be blessed and experience better products, right? If you're listened to, if people are smart enough to listen to the ones that are accurate, okay? So, okay, so are we moving on to the next one? Yes. So here's the 6 of Earth. This is a balanced card. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities. Receiving a loan or paying off a debt. Wow, this is so cool. Okay, I'm like loving how this is going. This is so cool. Okay, so I don't know, like, okay, so it's sometimes like I go into my mind where I'm like thinking about my own circumstances, but I'm like, but this is so crazy because like what just popped up right now is just so interesting. Like in terms of before when that person called me, it's like so interesting because I'm seeing it now like in terms of the way that would apply to them, but like it's really like I'm like, okay, let's like yang it out, or like how does it apply to all of us? So give me a second to just like take it all in. Okay, what I'm getting for this card is that there are trustworthy people who are trustworthy and believing in you now are really now coming into play to balance you out and to support you. I feel as though these scales that are shown here, they weren't so balanced. I mean, like, I feel like you've been feeling like it's been like really one-sided for a very long time. But now that you're united within yourself, right? And made these and really kind of accepted these positive changes for yourself, like just how you are. And I really think that this is with authenticity, right? Like, you were united this morning in terms of your authenticity, and that's what made you kind of roam free in your unity of yourself. And so this card, I think, really depicts just somebody coming in to kind of gift you what you kind of have been lacking. And I'm getting extra hot when I say that. So that's a confirmation of, like, yeah, whatever you were lacking is now coming into play. So whatever you were really patient for is now coming into play. This is a fair, like, this is, it's very interesting. Okay, well, this is a fairy in this card. Fairies, to me, are very, they depict kind of like the other invisible side, like where, I mean, a lot of it does, right? But, like, to me, it's just kind of like, it's like mediumshipness, right? So through mediumship, I feel somebody is going to come through and really kind of, and here's the deal when I say invisible, somebody that may have been watching you from afar, which is like, kind of like, okay, I'm coming on here, but somebody's kind of like being quiet and just like watching my videos but not liking them or subscribing to them or whatever the fuck, right? So like that type of like incognito, like watching you from afar, that person is going to be very, like, what is it called? Like, very loving upon you today, if that makes any sense, with their strengths. So they're basically willing to share their resources with you today in terms of, what do they have a lot of? Money, time, effort. Like, they're really going to be, and also new career opportunities. They might think of you in a certain way, receiving a loan or paying off debts. It's like, I just feel as though somebody's really going to watch over you, or spirit is going to push somebody that you know in the physical world to kind of help you out and balance your scales a little bit. Because they see that you're kind of coming, you're showing up to this world consistently in a really good, positive way. They like your work. So whoever it is, it's like one of those things like where you're just definitely going to be on the receiving end of things, and in a very healthy and balanced way where it's that person's happy and you're happy, right? And so there's just like a lot of love exchange going on, right? And that's beautiful. And they're also healing, right? Because green, look at how much green there is. That's Archangel Raphael. That's a lot of healing that comes into play. So a lot of the things that maybe you've been waiting for a very long time are going to be healed by the end of healed and rectified is what I'm also getting, by the end of the day. Do I show this now? Yes. Okay. So 5 of Fire is it's at the bottom of this deck, and it says completing goals. Also, I'm feeling cycles because there's just cyclical stuff going on. But oh, I'm sorry, it says competing. Well, I actually don't want to take back what I said. It's completing goals. Bothersome details, conflict with others. Okay, so 5 of Fire just basically means, don't take it as it is, because sometimes they're like too dramatic, these cards. Like, I'm like, damn, that's why actually I'm not going to share, but I got something coming up. So anyhow, and it's going to be a surprise. So, because don't do it. All right. So even though I get super excited about like what the fuck I'm crafting up, but it's all good. So anyhow, competing, or what my inner child is crafting up. So anyhow, so long story short, this is 5 of Fire, which is there's a change in and see, these remind me of torpedoes. So it's like it's no mistake that I went into kind of like torpedo mode before about talking about, wisdom, like life wisdom stuff. But to be honest with you. I thought this was a better card. I thought this was a better card without reading it. So I'm like glad that I'm literally bettering this card in comparison to what it says. But it basically, we're going to turn around. We're going to say non-competing goals. We're going to say non-bothersome details. And we're going to say solution and harmony with others, okay? So that's how we're going to change it up. 5 of Fire is basically what I want to say is it's a change in passion, okay? So if you're feeling any of these, you know, ways in terms of how it's really depicted on this card, just know that it's happening because you're heading in a new direction, okay? So what you're doing is basically you're fighting others in terms of trying to accept it for yourself, or you're trying to have others understand you, and in terms of the work that you do, or what's, you know, what passions you stand for, but really, you know, and what passions you believe in, but really it's up to you to kind of just find your people and just like talk to them about it, right? Like, just don't, like that. And that's what goes back to, you know, don't share your dreams with the people that, like, you know, don't respect you or don't understand you, or just like don't share your dreams with just anybody, that type of thing, you know, because it actually, I mean, in a certain level, in a certain essence, it is true. And you have to be a little, kind of, you have to be, is the word decipher what I want to use? I don't know. You have to really kind of be, just, yeah, I don't know, like trying to decipher, like what the fuck, like trying to, I really can't think of it, but I'm like stuck on it. All right, get me moving past it. Okay, because I don't give a shit. So what I want to say is, the five of wands or 5 of fire also means that this is a believing card. So there's a belief, I'm telling you, and I feel that today, is that there is a change in beliefs that are happening that are really fucking big, okay? They're really fucking big. Like, they're just like, they're like out of your hands big, okay? And this is why probably the Chariot came up. Because it's kind of like, you can't handle the way that things were before, and now you're able to just kind of handle it better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're definitely able to handle them better because you're like seeing it for what it is. Now, what's basically sandwiching the masculine, I feel, or not really sandwiching. Okay, no, I take that back. What is really kind of heightening the masculine energies are the feminine energies, okay? So that's how we're looking at it. Sorry, for some reason, I'm like a little loopsters, but it's all good. So helpful people, in terms of a heightening mode, has literally showed up for you above the Chariot, okay? So I feel as though you're probably going to gain some communication, but from somebody on a quick note in the physical world. However, I just feel as though this is helpful people. These are completely, like, your entire A-team is moving you forward in the right direction, and it's on a quicker notion now, even though it may not have seemed that way this morning, but it's picking up. Things are starting to pick up. Yeah. Okay. And then through that, you have opportunity. The next one is opportunity. And opportunity also, it's like, it flows one into another, right? You have helpful people, like I said, on the physical realm and on the spiritual realm. And basically, they are, the helpful people are sending you opportunities. Now, I feel as though, since this is kind of on the left side of the reading, somebody from your past, right, is creating or is basically seeing you as an opportunistic type of person, I want to say, for their business or for whatever they want to help you with. Now, or whatever they see that you'd be good in, right? Now, it's very interesting because they do want unity back with you, right? Like, so whoever this is from the past, it's like they're wanting to create this beautiful opportunity for you, and on a quick notion where they come in quick, and it's an opportunity where you can reunite together, like back with them, right? So yeah, like-minded friends. I mean, that's really what it is. So they're really thinking about you. Somebody's, and there's a lot of gold in this, in these cards. So I feel like it's a very much so like, it's like a crown chakra. Like it's like your wealth corner. And obviously, look at this. It's a wealthy opportunity, right? Like, look, she's like, woohoo, money. You know what I'm saying? And miracles, miraculous money is what I want to call it. And so yeah, so she's like very grateful and she's like, yes, thank God, amen, right? Like, hallelujah. So something's coming through in terms of very much so. And I don't think you'll see it. I think it's something that's literally, it's kind of like a ray of light that comes through and then you're just like, oh, now you see it, right? Like physically, you're like, oh, it's amazing. Archangel Sandalphon is also really good in terms of uniting you with your like-minded friends. So if you would like to pray for that, definitely do that. Ask Your Angels is praying for it. And by the way, guys, today is the number 4 day of January, which means 4 to me is very much so gratitude, okay? So the number 4, and it's also very foundationally based. So really, I mean, I'm talking about on a divine masculine, but also on divine feminine scale. Be very grateful for what it is that you have. Like, I think when we woke up this morning, foundationally, we were feeling like sped the fuck up. Like we wanted things to just happen already. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we were kind of a little bit in regret mode, and maybe we were like calling upon the divine to help us to even like get out of bed, because sometimes there are those days, and especially when we're like confused about life and not knowing what to do. So there's a lot of that, like more so than we think sometimes, and it happens to the best of us, let me just tell you. So that, which includes myself, okay? So long story short, I just wanted to say that today it's really important to be on your gratitude aspect of your life. Like one thing that to do in order to get through, through to the next level, to like level up in terms of your positivity, stay grateful. Like I had to, like today was the first day, maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, I can't remember. I turned to my gratitude journal after a very long time. I was kind of sporadic between like Thanksgiving and now. I was very sporadic in writing in it, but then today I was just like, no, I really need to kind of get back into it, because there is and I was very grateful all up until now. I was actually feeling very magical where I didn't feel like I needed to, because I was living gratitude, but sometimes you have those lulls that you have to pick yourself back up again. And in order to do that, you literally need to just turn to your gratitude journal and just like write a couple of things, things that you're like observant to, or that you're feeling, or, and actually it's crazy that I did that, because you go to write something of gratitude and all of a sudden your heart just expresses itself, and it's like, bleh, and like, it just like comes out on the paper. Like, this is what I want in my life. And you're just like, bro, I never even knew that. Like, that's kind of crazy, So it's kind of like, and I was even thanking my gratitude journal for it being such a safe energy type of heart space where I can talk and I can express myself, and my heart is just like, ooh, a pen and paper? Fuck yeah, let's just have a field day with it. And so that's the whole thing, is just like, definitely just be grateful for all the gifts. Like, I mean, literally, even stuff right now, I'm seeing gifts of money, time, effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or payment, or your debts paid off. It's like, these are beautiful gifts to be grateful for today. So let's not underestimate them, because they are what are keeping you afloat, right? So and since you're in gratitude, you have this extra opportunity coming up, which, I feel as though, and it's beautiful, because I feel as though it's definitely something softer and gentler in terms of a divine feminine type of leadership. Today I was thinking out loud. I was like, thank you for my personal, because as a Capricorn, you are a natural leader, right? So my whole thing is, I was thanking them for being a leader, but not the typical leader where I feel like I have to fucking be you know, I came from that thinking, you know, a leader has to be like, you're gonna fucking just, you know, forge ahead and not give a fucking shit, and like you gotta know everything. And I'm like, listen, that's a perfectionist mindset. I can't do that because I don't know everything, and I don't want to know everything. I want to be pleasantly surprised by everything that life has to offer me. So I cut these cords what I thought was a long time ago. And there was a more that needed to be cut. Maybe there was like fucking 7 straps on me or some shit. You know what I'm saying? That I had to be like, pew, pew, you know, like cut them all up. And now I feel very released to, okay, like, we're going to do shit my way, okay? Because I know, because I'm not creating this shit in terms of, like, my way or the highway. I actually don't give a fuck. Like, if people don't want to be happy, that's all on you. But I'm talking about my way and my highway, both of it. I've created a very happy, like, systemized type of world with it that heals me and that like supports me, that, you know, and is very gentle on me, that and it also creates me to be very happy on a very often basis. So like, why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm so adamant about like, actually, it's not even just an egotistical way. It's like, no, it's either my way, it's either my way or my highway and nothing else. Like, that's basically it. Unless you show me something different, which I have not come across, but I will always be accepting of something different because I love, like I said, I love learning, I love expanding, I love new ideas. So my ideas will never be, you know, I will never have like the best ideas in a room. I will always be open to taking the best idea in a room. You know what I'm saying? So that's super huge. So talking about that, the next card we have up is compromise, right? So it's like, that's how I compromise. I don't compromise my happiness anymore. I don't do that shit because I know that I've worked way too hard for that, for it to be compromised in any which way. Oh, hi, happily ever after. Hello there. I love seeing you. Thank you so much for showing up. You're such a wonderful soul. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm just seeing it now. So, I don't even know what time it is. 1:57. I don't know what time you left a comment, but thank you for doing so. And thank you for being here. So, yeah, so like when it comes down to happiness, like I know I don't know what was cut out there, but like I just said, like, I know how to create a blend of happiness in terms of the highest and best route, in terms of what we kind of were taught versus what, you know, the future holds for us. You know what I'm saying? Like what I can foresee being, being applied towards our happiness in terms of our future, but also for the long haul, right? So it's kind of like, I have this quote unquote vision of love that I know is going to work. And the thing is, I've already put it into work. So it's kind of like, that's what makes me happy. And that's what makes me kind of joyous on a more often regular basis than other people. I can tell you that right now. I'm not perfect, and I won't be perfect ever. And I'm so freed up by that notion of, and even as a Capricorn, we're all like thinking perfectionist ways. I don't give a fuck about perfection anymore. I give a fuck about having fun, okay? And having fun is sometimes imperfect, and it's yet so amazing. So the whole thing is, you know, you have to compromise. What are you willing to let go of in terms of bringing, oh my God, look at this, guys. Sorry, I just like saw this. Okay, so she's having compromised scales, right? And look at the scales over here for the six of Earth. Yo, that's freaking beautiful. That's really beautiful. So there's a compromise. Oh, I love this. There's a compromise going on between the masculine and the feminine. And this is right after the unity card happened, right? Unity and opportunity of unity. So I'm getting super excited because I don't know what's even popping up, but I just feel as though this opportunity is going to be super fucking, just exciting. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. And they're showing me this at the bottom of the deck. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. It's going to be in perfect fucking timing. So, here, I'm going to just do this to balance it out. Yeah. So it's just, it's super beautiful. And I like how these cards are like, here's this girl being in total and complete joy, and now she's like settling back into her, like, she's like balancing herself to be like emotionally balanced, right? So she's just like super grateful that this opportunity came up and that she's like weighing out the options, right, for herself so that she can see and she can compromise with the divine. So what I'm getting is actually more so that there's a divine masculine that's going to be kind of approaching the divine feminine today in terms of seeing their having missed them, okay, and seeing their value. Okay, so this girl is like, okay, like, the opportunity is that for herself, the divine feminine has created a value for themselves. So that's the opportunity that she's gifted herself, even if it's not something out there, but that's the opportunity. That's interesting. She has brought value to herself as an opportunity, which has also brought her into unity with herself, okay, with her masculine. Beautiful. Because, and it makes so much sense because of the fact that a lot of the times the masculine aspect of ourselves was more valued rather than our feminine side of ourselves, right? So the whole thing is now the unity has come into fruition where both sides are being taken into consideration, and hence the compromise, right? So the compromise is now between these two cards is one is saying, okay, so I received a beautiful opportunity, which I really do feel on a physical note will be one of such. That makes no sense, but it will be one definitely kind of brought to the table, okay? So there's an offer on the table, okay? That's the opportunity is what I'm trying to say. And I feel it in my heart, actually. It's so beautiful. And this person's very happy, right? This girl's like, oh, this is interesting, right? And now, but it's also by the masculine. So the masculine is offering something up to the feminine. And they are basically there. So this is the opportunity that's coming through. Like something is being offered in terms of, placing itself on the table. And then the divine feminine is kind of like, she's like thinking, she's like, okay, received, right? Because the balance scales is kind of like a receiving, like, okay, I've received this gift, thank you very much. But now it's kind of like, now she's trying to kind of, I guess, like visualize how it's going to work out. And what I'm getting, it's big, guys, it's big. So whatever is being offered up to the feminine side of yourself today in terms of feeling, in terms of whatever is missing in your life, that it's going to be whatever was missing in your life for a very long time is now going to be filled in and fulfilled in, okay? Talking about, perfect timing, though, this is crazy shit. Perfect timing. Remember yesterday I was seeing the DNA? It's like that's all that's coming in perfect timing. Okay, but what I'm getting, though, perfect timing. What I'm getting, though, is since I just opened to this, I don't know if this is significant. This no is not a no. It's just boundaries that need to be put up. So this is basically this girl receiving, but also the feminine side having to think, all right, well, now that I received this, I'm going to sit on it for a little bit because I'm going to go slow, okay? Because she knows what she deserves, and and again, it could be a he too in terms of feminine side of feelings. Feminine, always associate your feminine side is going to be feelings, okay? Which is a lot of what people don't want to kind of accept for themselves, but the faster you accept it, the faster you get to be united and rebalanced, and the faster you get to fucking forge ahead and move ahead and make moves, right? So the whole thing is, she no longer wants to, there are feelings she doesn't want to compromise, so therefore, this is all beautiful, perfect timing and all, but the thing is, she now has to have a little bit of time to figure out how is she going to balance having her uncompromised feelings with the compromisation of what's coming in, which is also a very beautiful offer. It's very generous, okay? There's something here that I'm like, I was like, are we done here? And they were like, no. All right, I'm getting pulled to go to back to this helpful people. And they're making me look at the word help. Oh my God, this is hilarious. So I'm looking at the word help, but I'm also looking at the word full, right? But in the word helpful, they're making me put together the word elf, E-L-F. There's a little fucking elf of a person who's like, you have a good luck elf next to you. So I want to say like this elf is like kind of like, I want to say a person who follows universe. So the person who follows like what is it called, like it could be a God follower, it could be a love follower, it could be a universe follower, it could be like whatever. So a believer, okay? There's a little helpful elf in your world that is a believer that is actually moving things forward for you, okay? Yeah, thank your lucky elves, because they are people too. Okay, that's all I have to say. Even on the invisible aspect of life, and they're really bringing a lot of light into your life. Like, yeah, they're making you look at opportunity, which is the highest and best card here, filled with light. So just be open. You know, this is an open person. Open people receive opportunities. They even create their own opportunities, right? They are yes people, okay, but not all the time, because again, in order to stay balanced, if balance is a value of theirs, they have to also say no a lot of the times, okay? So no, people think is a rejection of sorts, but no is really just a boundary that kind of, helps people, okay, on all sides, which is yourself and the other person. They just told me, they're like, there, okay, you got it. So like, I nailed it. So that's basically what has to be done. It's like, just sit on it for a little bit. Don't go crazy, because like I said, this is a quick type of energy change, okay? And I also think that this is a blessing, because this helpful person brought this like really big quick energy shift to you that you needed, okay? And so yeah, so that was just like very much so needed. But also, like I said here, it's like, take your time. You want to go quick, but take your time, because there is something here that you have to kind of think about, that you have to not compromise anymore in order to just sit there and tolerate it, okay? You have to communicate. Compromising has a lot to do with communicating in terms of, what do you desire? What's the bigger, idea here? How are you going to really kind of come together into unity in terms of creating a bigger, more blended vision in terms of, achieving your goals? So again, this is like, see, when it talks about competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others, it's like if you move too quick, which is a fire energy, that's what you can actually kind of fucking create. So in order to avoid this shit, just take it slow. Just take it slow. I know that there's like a passion behind this, and maybe, and a lot of people like, yes, people like to see things on a more opportunistic and optimistic way, where it's like super heightening and super like, yes, but there's groundwork that needs to be kind of had, and groundwork really goes slow, okay? It's a slow process, but it's progressive. So the whole thing is, I think why this popped up at the bottom of the deck, it's just like, listen, take it into consideration, but don't move too quick, because you don't want to headbutt with anybody else's goals. You want to create your own goals. You want to, obviously work with other people in terms of teamwork, to create a better environment for yourself and better results. but the whole thing is, it's like you have to be aware that you have to be working with people who are willing to communicate with you, okay, in order to compromise. And sometimes communication also takes trust, right? Good communication also takes trust. So you can't bypass some of the shit that maybe if it's coming from the past, you can't bypass what happens and then like ignore it or sweep it under the rug to then move forward. You can forgive, but you can't forget. And instead of forgetting, it's better to just talk through these things to kind of mull them over. But also, as your opportunity that you're receiving, you're also mulling that over in terms of how to work it out in the highest and best way. But just know, right below the Five of Fire, which is, the competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others, it all works out in perfect timing. Okay, so this is why that's a big message here, is to work slower. Okay, work slower and work smarter. Don't work harder, and don't work faster. Okay, because slower and smarter is the way to go. Always, 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 because you're able to then become aware of stuff that you need to pick up on your way, on your path, on your journey, on your progressiveness of it all, and you're able to then make quicker kind of moves, quicker adjustments to then have a better standing in terms of, adding towards the betterment of the foundation and of the framework and of the results that you want to get, right? So it's kind of like the more slower that you go, and the more slower that you go, systematically slower, and what else did I say? Slower and smarter, the legitimately, like, all the gaps that that you kind of would not be able to see if you're moving faster and harder, are then along the process very much like kind of gapped. You know what I'm saying? They're like more fulfilled, right? You figure that out. And sometimes it's not meant to be figured out right then and there, but you're meant to be aware of it so that when a resolution comes along, you know exactly where to stick it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I meant there, and I'm not even fucking changing that because that's amazing. So yeah, so there's just something beautiful that I feel as though, and I really felt even before this reading, the feminine feeling side of yourself is now taking on a role as the leader, okay, in your life, and as a leader in many people's lives, okay? They're finding it way more important. The roles have now kind of reversed, but not really reversed, more so it equalized itself out, it balanced itself out. Unity has been brought together, which means peace, okay? So peace within somebody's self to then move forward on a more bigger, brighter, and blended scale, okay? Which is going to work out perfectly, because perfect timing, oh my God, and as I said, it's going to be working out perfectly. Success right after the perfect timing. It's going to work out perfectly. I love it. I love it. Spirit and the cards never motherfucking lie. It's amazing. All right, guys. So I don't know. I feel a little, wild about that, about this reading. But, sometimes I just want to go into it that sometimes it's not about the reading or about the messages. I've come to realize recently, it's more so about the energy that's brought to the table, right? So sometimes I need to bring my energy to the videos or to the space of what is a YouTube video, okay? So that people kind of gain from my insides, you know what I'm saying? Like they gain this energy of what is exuding from me, whether it's to become more real with yourself, whether it's like whatever I'm exuding, and there's a variety of stuff that I exude on a moment to moment, but also just because I love variety and I'm a person of variety, I feel like I exude a lot of what people may need to uplift themselves, throughout a day or in their day. So sometimes it's like you're okay to ignore this entire reading if it doesn't work for you, but you are here to watch this because there's something, and I'm going to say there's something about my energy that is captivating, or there is something about my energy that, you know, I am giving to you because you need a boost of it in your own life. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's just me kind of like having to be all over the fucking place to then, you know, deliver this variety to the people that need whatever they need out of this video, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I mean, you think you're coming here for a card reading, but it's for a lot of other things that you're coming for energetically. And it really is to be rebalanced. And I mean, there's a whole lot of other benefits to it, but which I'm not going to go into, but, and maybe I'll do a video on it. That would be kind of cool. Because it's interesting. I like to basically tell people like what I noticed this morning. It came to me. It's like I like to kind of explain spirit to people who don't really kind of understand spirit, which is like that. Like it's kind of and I don't know if I do that because I'm just around people that are not interested in it or are not spiritual. But I think that I have a way where, you know, I make sense of spirit to people. I don't know if that's going to always be there, but I think it's just something that I have to do for right now. So, you know, so that's just like me having to just kind of like bounce around to do that for people, right? So I kind of like judge myself in terms of saying like, oh, like, you know, I kind of don't feel put together when I fucking do these videos, but it's the fun that needs to be there rather than, you know, oh, here's like what could go down or here, you know what I'm saying? Like this is just like the cards are very topical based, right? But they help me go deeper and they help exude and bring up like, you know, extract what needs to be kind of energetically shared through these videos. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful tool. I love cards. I'm very grateful. And yeah, they're super grounding and super inspirational, right? So impactful even. So guys, thank you so much for, you know, joining in and for taking the time to watch these videos. I know they're a little bit longer, but you know, they do go fast, I feel. So I don't know, like an hour goes by very fast for me. And I'm like, okay, that's crazy. Because it seems to me like a half hour, but you know, thank you so much for, you know, spending your time with me and dedicating, you know, your time to me in these videos because it really means a lot to me. And yeah, and like I just feel like, you know, by you watching these videos, I also get, because I'm human too, so I also get validation in terms of like me like at least like touching somebody's life. So whenever I see even my one, when I show up for myself on here, like while I'm watching myself to see if anybody else is commenting, I feel like I'm even coming on these videos to show up for myself. So, and so I'm a part of that. If I can touch one person, you know, I will feel very satisfied on my day-to-day basis. But, you know, the whole thing is, yeah, I would like to touch more than myself. Okay. And I know that sounds really bad, but whatever, take it as you will. I don't give a shit. And, yeah, so just feel free to just subscribe and join in any which way you can. Yeah, and thank you guys just so much for all of your support in any which way that you show up, that you feel is fitting for you, that you can show up in and provide that support for me as well. So I really appreciate that. So have a great day, guys. I love you so much, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.